about the last time you said I love you. Did you mean passion, loyalty, friendship, safety, desire? We use one small word for something that has meant radically different things across history. But here's the strange truth. Most of what we believe love is, we didn't learn from experience. We learned it from stories, from Romeo and Juliet, from fairy tales, from the Bible, from vampires and forbidden lovers, and tragic heroes. And tonight I want to show you something surprising. Love did not change because our hearts changed. Love changed because our stories changed. Think for a moment about a story that shaped how you understand love. Maybe it was a fairy tale that you read as a child, or a movie that made you cry. These stories silently taught you what love could be, who could love whom, how far love should go, and what the consequences were. Imagine carrying that blueprint into your own life. To understand where these ideas begin, we have to start somewhere unexpected, with sacred texts. The Bible is often thought of as a moral, distant, and even abstract text, but it contains one of the most erotic texts in Western literature, the Song of Songs. Draw me after you, let us run. Bodies, touch, sand, longing, desire. Yet desire is dangerous too. David sees Bathsheba bathing. He wants her. He takes her, and suddenly love becomes guilt, obsession, catastrophe. Biblical affection is not one thing. It can be joy, devotion, obsession, power, care. The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard captured part of this tension when he said, "Love is not a feeling, but a decision." And C.S. Lewis later warned, "Love, having become a god, becomes a demon." So even the dawn of literature, love is already complex, ethical, embodied, and dangerous. Once desire was acknowledged, society had to find a way to control it, and that is where tragedy begins. In medieval Europe, love became dangerous in another way. You weren't supposed to marry for love, you married for family, land, and survival. So desire had to go underground. That's how we get stories like Tristan and Isolde, a love story so powerful to exist within society. Their love was stronger than death, and therefore it led them to death. Here love becomes a fatal passion, something beautiful and therefore forbidden. Lancelot and Guinevere tell the same story, intense desire doomed by honor and obligation. Even the gentle love of Fleur and Blanchefleur, sharing a peer, holding hands, yearning, exists only as a fragile balance between longing and social order. Love is allowed, but only if it knows its place. Then literature does something revolutionary. Shakespeare changes everything. Juliet says, "'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's in a name that which we call a rose, by any other word would smell as sweet." For the first time love becomes a choice. Juliet chooses Romeo, not her family, not tradition, not social expectation. Modern romantic love is no longer assigned, it is self-defined. And because it is chosen, it becomes urgent, intense, and dangerous. Because when we choose, we can also lose. And modern stories take that even further. In a modern era, stories stop asking whether desire is followed and start asking who owns it. Angela Carter rewrites Beauty and the Beast in the Bloody Chamber. "I felt my body suffused with a delicious warmth, and I surrendered to the awakening of a desire I had not known before." And Anne Rice rewrites Dracula. "I have always hungered, and the hunger is sweet." Modern translations of the Song of Songs return desire to the body, mutual, intimate, unapologetic. These retellings do not just eroticize love, they ask a deeper question. What happens when desire and identity collide? When we feel the answer in our own lives? When eros became central, we feel joy more intensely, heartbreak more intensely, life more intensely. There's many of us that feel today, but rarely say it aloud. If love is freer than ever, why does it feel so fragile? Modern culture tells us love should be effortless, total. If it's real, it will just work. But historically, love was distributed. Desire belonged in poetry. Marriage belonged to duty. Friendship belonged to loyalty. Care belonged to family. No single relationship carried everything. Today, one person is expected to be our lover, our best friend, our home, our purpose, our salvation. And when they fail, we feel not just disappointed, but erased. Most of us don't just want to be loved, we want to be chosen completely. Utterly. Modern retellings reflect this shift. Angela Carter gives female desire a voice. Anne Rice turns hunger into intimacy and immortality. Sociologist Niklas Luhmann explains this way. Modern love becomes the foundation of identity. Kierkegaard warns that when love is only preference, only passion, it becomes fragile, and C.S. Lewis warns when love becomes absolute, it can consume us. So maybe the task today is not to love less, but to love more wisely, to recover the forgotten loves, friendship, care, loyalty, mercy, because when love is shared, it can survive. Society shapes what love is allowed to be. Stories shape what love is allowed to be. From the Bible to fairy tales, from medieval romance to Shakespeare, from erotic retellings to modern novels, love is always both joy and danger, both choice and responsibility,